Hey everyone, I'm Trevor and today we're at Disney California Adventure to give you a crowd update on an Oogie Boogie Bash day. How empty is the park before the mix-in? Let's find out. Now this was going to be an update on how empty the park is. That's kind of how I planned it because usually the park is pretty empty on Oogie Boogie Bash days. We'll explain more about the reasoning for that in a moment. However, I want you to keep in mind a few things as we get going here. This is the entrance to DCA. You're seeing all the people spilling in. It's about 8:50 in the morning or so about an hour after rope drop. And it is a Labor Day weekend. Tomorrow is Labor Day. Today is Sunday, August 31st. Tomorrow's Labor Day, and Radiator Springs Racers is closed. So there goes the monorail. Now, Radiator Springs Racers being closed throws a massive wrench in the lines throughout the park. Radiator Springs Racers is a huge people eater, and it's a huge draw, huge attraction, especially towards the beginning of the morning. I mean, it is throughout the day as well, but if you watch my food video for Disney California Adventure, you'll hear about our experience with rope drop this morning. But suffice it to say that, well, everything in the park is all the bigger rides are pretty slammed right now, and we'll see those as we go by them. But you can see that up here on Buena Vista Street, walkways are pretty free and clear. So, Oogie Boogie Bash, if you're unaware of it, is the after-hours event that happens here at Disney California Adventure every Halloween season. And usually Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, there are some other dates in there, but Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, DCA closes at 6 p.m. to regular day guests, and only people with an extra ticket for the Oogie Boogie Bash event can stay past 6 p.m. At 3 p.m. is when those ticket guests can get into the park. So from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. you'll have two different types of people in the park: regular day guests and special event ticket guests. So that's whenever it tends to get really busy. However, with Radiator Springs Racers being closed for refurb until September 26th, a lot of the other more popular rides like Soarin', Guardians of the Galaxy, and Credit Coaster, and Toy Story Midway Mania are all very long lines right now, and we're going to walk by all of those rides and show them to you, help you plan. If you are coming to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure before Radiator Springs Racers reopens, you may need to adjust your plans, and hopefully this video will help you make those adjustments. So first up, we have Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue, posted at a 10-minute wait, just a 10-minute wait. We just rode this. My family is up here with me as well. They're not with me as I'm filming this because the kids don't like this type of video. But you should be able to walk. Oh, okay, it's worse. The back of the line is actually outside now. When we did it, the back of the line was still inside the building, and it was posted at a 10-minute wait. Actually, I mean, the line's moving. But no, I do see people there. It's starting to zigzag. So that's starting to fill up already. Again, about 8:50 in the morning. Let me get the exact time for you. 8:48. 8:48. Over here, I've got some photo op spots. This area has always got a bunch of photo ops, but you can see the current decor, Halloweenified, Camp Rayburn. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, and this attraction had the longest line in the park when I was looking at the Disneyland app just a few minutes before I started this video. It was posted at 50. We'll see what it is when we swing by. And so here's a look at the line for this attraction. Now, based on just eyeballing the line, it looks like it's maybe closer to 40 than 50, but that all depends on how many elevator shafts they are operating. But the standby wait time posted here at the entrance is indeed still 50 minutes. So again, could be the gantry lifts. How many of them are open? They have 3 possibles with 2 different levels, so 6 total. But if they only have 2 shafts running, then it's limited to 4 instead of 6. I did that attraction at Rope Drop one time, and they only had 1. Actually, it was early entry, so that might have made a difference. But they only had 1 gantry lift operating, and that really slowed things down. You're not going to really have any clue how many they're operating unless you stand outside the attraction for a good 5 minutes and just count how many of the doors are opening up. and then you're kind of wasting time, of course. So it's hard to tell what it's going to be when you get in there. The posted wait time is probably going to be fairly accurate, so just go based off of that. Ooh, here's a big tell. Walking up to Spider-Man Web Slingers, and I can see the standby line is already looped all the way back here. 30 minutes, okay. They must have some of the switchbacks closed for it to only be posted at 30 minutes and have that completely full, but still, that's probably a little higher than I would typically expect for this time of the morning. This is about when my family would be riding it, and usually I think our target is around 15 to 20 minutes at this time of the morning, so a little bit busier, but not terribly so. Primary walkway here between Avengers Campus and Cars Land, not looking too bad. Pretty wide open and spacious, I'm sure that'll fill in. Still early in the morning, of course. Crowds will continue to get worse. This is not the busiest it's going to be, but again, I was hoping to show you this park super duper empty. Labor Day weekend and Radiator Springs Racers being closed, not helping my case. But as always, we continue with the video no matter what, and hopefully it is useful. Posted wait time at Mater's Graveyard Jamboree is 10 minutes. According to the sign over here, it's 10 minutes. And I would say, based on the line, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. This time of the morning, though, typically, I feel like it should be closer to 5. And it still might be. It really might be. The line's not that long. I bet you all these people that are in line right here get put in the corral next. And yeah, it's probably like 6 to 7 minutes. Seeing Luigi's Honkin' Halloween open in the morning is a bit of a rarity. And it says it's posted at a 5-minute wait. We're not even gonna try to go through that line. We're gonna go around the back way here and see if we can spy the end of the line outside. That'll save me the trouble of having to weave through. Yep, oh yeah, wow, this looks really good. For this attraction, this is definitely really good. Usually what I find when this opens is that it goes like almost straight to a 20-minute wait later on in the day. But 5 for right now is pretty good. You can see the back of the line. I mean, the back of the line's like actually way over there. So if you were to go in right now, you'd get on pretty quickly. That attraction then was the first decently low wait that we saw for an attraction that generally has longer lines later on in the day. Otherwise, so far what we've seen is about average or slightly above average, but nothing still too crazy. Of course, Radiator Springs Racers still got a long way to go with the construction over here. They still have all these poles over here for building the scaffolding, and they have not built the scaffolding up over this way. They were building the scaffolding when we were here last Saturday, and they're still not done building it. At least, I mean, based on all the scaffolding pieces they got just laying over there, ladders and things. Maybe they're not going to do that until after they finish this portion over here. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to save money on your next Disneyland vacation, call my friends at Getaway today and tell them that SoCal Disney Dad sent you. Or click the link down in the description and use my coupon code to save on top of their already discounted hotel and ticket packages. Now we're going to head up to Pixar Pier, and this is pretty much where everybody was going for rope drop this morning. So we'll see how the crowd levels are looking right now. Now in Credicoaster this morning, whenever I last looked at the app, said that it was a 25-minute wait. And that was probably at about maybe 8:15, 8:20 in the morning. But as you can see, they have a worker there in the middle of the track right now because it already broke again. The Incredicoaster has been having some major issues lately. It just went down for refurb a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people were expecting that it would be a month-long refurbishment, and instead it only ended up being a couple of days, maybe 5 to 7 days at max. I feel like that was probably in response to a lot of frustration with this being closed at the same time as Radiator Springs Racers. So then they opened this back up early, but they did not do the amount of work that they needed to do here. And so as a result, it is still still breaking a lot. Yesterday, I heard that it was closed almost all day, and as well as the day before. Was up for maybe 15-20 minutes this morning, and once again, it is already broken. So I would expect it to be mostly closed probably the rest of the day, if I had to guess. Over here at Jesse's Critter Carousel, I expect this to be 5 minutes. If it's not, I'd be shocked, right? I'd be shocked. It is 5 minutes. Posted at 5 minutes. Let's poke down here anyway. Yeah, everybody in this line is absolutely going to get on the next one. Look at how many empty. There's a ton empty over here. That's pretty typical for this attraction. But aside from Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, Toy Story Midway Mania was actually the primary target for Rope Drop this morning, around the same time that I saw Incredicoaster at 25 minutes. So that was around 8:15, 8:20 in the morning. Toy Story Midway Mania was already up to a 45-minute wait. And that is pretty high for this attraction that early in the morning. I would have expected maybe 20 at max. So most of the Radiator Springs Racers crowd had come over here. Currently posted at a 50-minute wait. That is 5-0. 5-0, not 1-5. 50. A lot of people over here filling up the outside of the queue. Inside of the queue is probably also completely full. So yeah. This is, I mean, it can get a tad busier than this, but not much. This is about as busy as it gets throughout the day. But these wide open pathways here, wide open pathways through this part of Pixar Pier anyway. This is, you know, part of what I like about Rope Drop at DCA, part about what I like about just coming on like an Oogie Boogie Bash day in general. Because Pixar Pier, this area especially, can get quite congested. And I do like it whenever I can breathe as I'm walking around. Pixar Pal Around, 15-minute wait for the swinging gondolas, 10-minute wait for the non-swinging gondolas. Let's go spy the line over here. So the non-swinging is all the way down there. That's pretty good. It can come up here and it can completely fill up on the other side of this wide line. So where it is at is good. And then right there is the back of the line for the swinging. And this looks pretty good because it goes to either side. So this line will move pretty quickly up to the split at least. And yeah, it's probably fairly accurate. Pretty decent times. Is it usually less at this time of the morning? Yes. But again, we just have to factor in Labor Day weekend and Radiator being closed. Next up is Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind, posted at a 5-minute wait. Just a 5-minute wait. Let's pop in the line here and see where the back is. Looks like right here. This is the back of the line. So, there's a good chance that everybody in line right now makes the next cycle. Possibility. Good possibility. An attraction like that highly depends on how many people are going in each ride vehicle. If you have a lot of people who are single riders in the group and are just going to take up an entire box all by themselves, then that line could actually take a couple of cycles to get through. But assuming that most of them are going to be family units under 4 that will, you know, take up quite a few people in a single box, that whole line, in theory, should make it onto the next one. Silly Symphony Swings does not appear to be running right now. I don't remember if it was earlier or not. It's usually open. Yeah, it's usually open this time of the morning. So something must be, oh, there's a maintenance worker right over there. Maintenance cast member, so yeah. Something's gone on with this attraction this morning too. Jump Jelly. We'll talk about the wait time for Jumpin' Jellyfish in a minute, but just looking at the line, they've only got one side operating at the moment, so all of these people will get on the next one, and then those people get on the one after that. So it's between a 5 and 10 minute wait, probably closer to the 10-minute mark, maybe 7 in actuality. If you were to tell me that there was going to be a ride closed at Paradise Gardens Park and I had to guess which one it was going to be, I would have put my money on Goofy's Sky School, because this one is usually the one that I find in the morning is not open because of, you know, various different reasons. But it is open. It's Silly Symphony Swings that was closed. Standby line for Goofy Sky School, currently posted at a 30-minute wait. Now, if you want to do single rider, they don't have it open right now by the looks of it, but you would come in over here by the lightning lane, and then there's this area that's chained off on the left. So usually they'd have that open, and then you go up those steps for single rider. But again, it doesn't look like it's open at this time of the morning. 30-minute posted standby wait, and they already have the switchbacks going over here though. But this part is not full. This part's open, and there's still quite a bit of switchbacks even over here that could fill up. So 30 minutes might be pushing it. Could be closer to 40. Usually when all of this is full and all of this is full, it's like 80. But still, that's definitely a lot longer than it should be at 9:15, 9:20 in the morning. Does this say 0? Does this say 0? It looks like it says 0. I've never seen... I have never seen a posted wait time of 0, but it does say from this point. So I've never seen that. Clearly it's not 0. We just pointed that out for jumping jellyfish, but yeah, that was strange. Over here, now look at this is the big shocker here. This is Golden Zephyr line out of the attraction. It says it's posted at a 5-minute wait there on the sign, but I could have swore when I just looked at it before I went over to jumping jellyfish that it said 10 minutes. So they might have just changed it, but clearly the switchbacks over here are wide open. They could definitely fill a lot more people in over here. This isn't like it's max capacity, mind you, but still, Golden Zephyr at this time of the morning should be a walk-on. An easy walk-on. And there's a line. These aren't spring break crowds, mind you, okay? They're not spring break crowds. They're not like Insanity. We've seen Insanity. This is still good. It's just higher than I would expect on an Oogie Boogie Bash morning. This is almost like, you know, the crowd levels that I would expect on a non-Oogie Boogie Bash morning when everybody else is coming to DCA because the park is open until 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night and they're going to see World of Color tonight. That's what I would expect this day to be when Oogie Boogie Bash is running. Because again, if you come on an Oogie Boogie Bash day, then you get kicked out at 6 p.m. and you can't see World of Color. Even if you bought an Oogie Boogie Bash ticket, which they're all sold out now, but even if you had one, they don't run World of Color during Oogie Boogie Bash. So if you really want to see Oogie Boogie, or if you really want to see World of Color, you have to come on those days that OBB is not running. You understand what I'm saying? So those days tend to be a bit busier, and these are the crowds that I would expect on that type of day, not on an OBB morning. Now, this is a shocker. Little Mermaid has a lower line than Golden Zephyr. Okay, I mean, it just started to fill up a little bit, but 2 seconds ago, before I turned this camera on, people were walking straight into the building, and this line was not queued up here. Like I said, that was like maybe 15 seconds ago. I stopped to say hello to someone first, and then this is formed. Now they're going to go in, but this is quite a bit shorter, actually, than the Golden Zephyr. The wait time will be fewer. Hello! Wait time will be lower over here at Little Mermaid. That's just astounding to me, that people would wait in probably a 10-minute line for Golden Zephyr versus nearly a walk-on for Little Mermaid. They probably don't know, you know, or they're just working their way up here, so that's fine, but it's surprising to me. I don't know how many times I could say that. Posted wait, though, is 10 minutes. I'm not sure I believe it, given how quickly that line was moving. Now, the primary walkway through Grizzly Peak is going to be that direction, but I do see Grizzly River Run operating over here, and in order to see the line the best, I find it best to go through Grizzly Peak Pass, which is going to be this back path here. It's very quiet back this way. Even on the busiest of days, nobody really walks back this way. So if you are trying to get out of the rush of the crowds, definitely come back here. But we can also see the queue for Grizzly River Run better from back here. And there's some waterfalls too, so I just like this way a whole lot better than the other way anyway. Not sure how well you can see it from back here, but it does appear that the end of the line is actually right over there, which is pretty close to the front of the entrance. We'll walk you by the entire switchbacks and the queues in a second. It does look like that the turntable is stopped temporarily. They're telling people not to get out. I don't see anyone receiving special assistance, which means that they probably had to do an e-stop on the attraction. So I wouldn't quite call this broken yet. It'll probably get going again shortly, but for some reason they've had to stop the attraction. Now let's show you all the switchbacks. So this area up here is a queue space for Grizzly River Run. Remember, it's also 9:20 in the morning at this point, 9:20 a.m. And it's not terribly hot. It is warm, okay? It's warm, it's a little sticky. I've thought about turning my neck fan on already. I have not done so. It only lasts about 5 hours, so I'm trying to save it for the hottest part of the day. But The queue can also, there's the waterfall that I was talking about that I love coming back here for. The queue will also spill out over that bridge. It'll come over that way. I've even seen it all the way up here onto this bridge. You can see there's ropes, so the switchbacks are built all the way over here. So it's mostly a walk-on still at this time of the morning for Grizzly River Run. Most people probably not wanting to get wet this early in the morning. They're still letting people enter the line though, so it definitely must not be, it's not considered temporarily closed or they would have blocked off the entrance. And yeah, the back of the queue, I mean, there are people that are coming in straight here and then they're going right over there. It's 10 minutes at most, I'd say, probably in the ballpark, again, of 7. So they'll list it at 10, but it's probably 7. And of course we have one last attraction to swing by, and that is going to be Soarin' Around the World. I can see the line right now. It's probably at least 30 minutes. We'll show you the queue in a minute. I wanted you to see some more walkways. It's always good to show you some walkways. If you're familiar enough with DCA, you might be able to gauge how busy it is just based on what you're seeing on your screen. Posted wait time is 60 minutes, 60. Whoa, that is not what I would have guessed at all. You can see the queue. I told you that I would have guessed 30 based on seeing this, 60. That must mean they only have one side operating if it's double what I would have expected. Only one concourse running here at Soarin' this morning. Lots of people getting food at the breakfast places today. That's kind of what we decided to do. We decided to get some food, spend some more time getting breakfast this morning with how long the lines have been for a typical rope drop. So other people having the same idea. And this is Smoke Jumper's Grill. And we are back at the front of the park, but this video is not over. My wife just texted me about something that happened to them at Toy Story Midway Mania, and I want to show it to you. They got something, and I'm going to go link up with them and talk about that. So Amy and the kids just tried to ride Toy Story Midway Mania. Why don't you explain what happened?
So we waited in line, said it was 20 minutes, so we hopped in line quickly, and we got on normal. And
it said it was 20?
It said it was 20.
I just walked by and it was 50.
Yeah, well, it was at 40, and when we got over there, it went down to 20, so we quickly hopped in line, and we only waited 20.
Wow.
So that's why we hopped in line. And we skipped the whole first game. Like, our vehicle just kind of turned, stopped at the screen sideways. We were the only vehicle, like it wasn't even with the pair.
Yeah.
And we just skipped it. It was really weird. So then we went to the second game, and we finally met up with the second vehicle, and our guns didn't work, which was really weird. And then finally we got to the third game, and then it started working.
Yeah.
So like we got to do
the last two games. Yeah.
Like normal, but we didn't get to do like the whole thing. And I even told the people next to us, I was like, let them know. No one else stopped and let them know, but I was like, no, I'm letting them know. And when I told them, I thought they'd maybe scan our pass. Instead, they gave us a extra turn card, so they said just come in through the
exit
in a sense. Not really the exit, it's like a side ramp.
It's right behind the area where they do the meet and greets with the characters.
So they said come back and we get to ride it again.
Yeah, you're right. Exit would indicate not, over the bridge. No.
It's like right next to the
where the characters do the meet and greet. So, but take a look at this extra turn. I don't know if you can read it very well because of I can't get too close or the text will go blurry, but it says this ticket allows parties of 8 or less to enter through the alternate entrance. So it was just the 3 of them, but I'll get to come because it's 8 or less. So I love this. I didn't know that they did the extra turn.
Yeah.
While I was filming, she was texting me saying, oh, we got stuck, or this didn't work properly. I said, make sure you tell them they'll give you an MEP. That's what I was expecting, an MEP on their pass, because if the attraction doesn't work the way it's supposed to while you're on it, even if you didn't use Lightning Lane to get on it, it didn't happen the way it was supposed to. So if you let them know, they will let you ride it again. I've had that before with Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters too. I've gotten my gun before and nothing works. I point, the laser's hitting, but nothing's registering, and I end the ride with like 500 points because it gives you 100 just for pulling the trigger, ever so many times. It just eventually awards you 100 pity points. And you know, I've told them, hey, my gun didn't work, and they've let me go again. And so that's been great. Now, not in the same vehicle, you know, they've wanted me to get out and get in a different vehicle, but they have let me go again. So if they don't let you go again immediately, oftentimes they'll award you an MEP to come back later, or in this case, an extra turn. That was really cool. And now that I've linked up with my family, we're just gonna keep riding rides and things, but I am gonna end this video. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Always happy to answer them. And we will see you again next time.